It was this moment in my life that I felt really shit. I went to the studio and just tried to forget my thoughts and just to get lost in the groove. This was also the moment that I made that track. I called it positive straight away as well.
Right.
And I just had this euphoric feeling from the track.
Jamback turned one of the most difficult periods of his life into a resounding triumph. In this episode of the Dojo podcast, he tells us how he stayed creative while dealing with grief, how this resulted in the biggest record of 2025, and how he is now ready to conquer the world with a newfound positivity and drive.
I did 166 shows.
Wow.
A lot in Ibiza. And every time I went to Ibiza, I stayed for 5 days to show my face. And
Very
also
important.
because I just love to be there on the dance floor.
Yeah. Jake, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much.
How did music start for you? Like, I know that you played in bands, that you did other stuff before DJing. How did the love for music start? What was your earliest memory of going like, hey, I'm into tunes, you know?
Yeah. Well, it actually started at a really young age as my grandfather was a flamenco guitarist.
Amazing, wow.
So, and that was his profession and his job. And when I was like 8-9 years old, he was already in his late 60s. So he retired, but he was still doing guitar lessons in our small town.
Right.
So everyone who was wanting to learn to play the guitar went to my grandfather.
Wow, yeah.
And
okay.
And then I got lessons from him when I was 8 on every Friday. And I remember I didn't like it too much in the beginning because learning an instrument can be frustrating, especially on a young age.
Yeah.
But I think also because it was my grandfather who told me, I had a little bit more of a respect, and I couldn't say no.
All right.
Like if I didn't like it. For instance, my dad really finds it sad that he never listened to his dad.
Right.
But if it was my dad teaching me to play the guitar, somehow like dad and son relationship work differently than a son
100%.
grandson.
Yeah, I agree. My dad was a photographer, and I have zero interest in photography, you know?
Yeah.
And now as I'm getting older, I'm starting to discover stuff, and I'm doing some stuff, and I'm going to explore a little bit. But I think when it's your parents, then like you like as a child, you want to have your own identity.
Yes.
Right? You know? So I think with a granddad, it's a little bit further removed.
Yeah. And then I remember that I was getting, after 2-3 years, I was getting quite good in it. And in the beginning it was really classical, like reading notes, just techniques and boring songs, kind of. Not stuff that my friends in school were like liking or whatever. But then I also started to make some pop music, and then I was like performing with a girl who sings on the school events. And then I found it really cool.
Yeah.
And then this was still in primary school. My grandfather passed away, unfortunately, when he was 72, I think. And then I had the need of like keep doing it. And I was only 11 or whatever. And then me and my mom actually searched on Google for a high school with more of a music touch.
Yeah, music background. Okay, I understand. Okay, yeah.
So you have the conservatory. Sometimes I always mistake this English word.
No, it's the same thing. Yeah.
The University of Arts.
Yeah.
But for high school, we thought you didn't have that, but we Googled it, like high school for music.
Right.
And it was in Rotterdam. That's where next to where I live. It was in the conservatory. Was a high school department.
Right.
Where they already gave like 10 hours a week of music lessons. And I did audition. And then I ended up in a school with like 20, like a class with 20 people, like singers, guitarists, bass players, pianists.
Awesome.
So my high school period was like a High School Musical. You know, it was the best thing ever. It was unreal. And we also had like English classes, history classes, math. But most of the times we were just... and also the school was open till 10 p.m. in the evening.
Right.
So we could like practice, everyone was starting bands with each other. And this was my first really experience with music. But back in the day, I was not listening to any electronic music.
Right. But I love that because I think,
when young children learn an instrument, you kind of have to force them because you would rather go out and play with your friends than practice, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think like that parents that like, I wish my parents had forced me to play an instrument. Like, you know, my dad was like, I asked my dad, why did you never make me play an instrument? And they were like, oh yeah, you didn't want to. It's like, of course I didn't want to. I'm like 7, 8 years old, right? Like, but I feel if your parents then push you to do that, and you know, in your case, your granddad, and then it only takes a couple of years of doing it, and as you said, by the time you were 11, you wanted to do it yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the first beginning was really tough because it's really frustrating because it's such quite an effort the first 2 years of learning an instrument. For instance, guitar, your fingers start to bleed. It's painful. It's really it takes a while to get a hold of. But when you do, then the fun starts. And then when the fun starts, it gets addictive. But then still, man, especially in school, there were so many persons who were way better than me. Like I remember this guy was playing. He came from also a musical family, and he was like he played Johnny B. Good on the audition, and I was
classic rock song.
And he was like 11, and I was like, holy shit, this guy is so good. And then it actually instead of inspiring me, it also a bit. I was like, oh fuck, I'm not good enough. I had this moment a lot, and then my friends who were not into music too much back when I was 14, 15, 16, and in this age, especially in Holland, everyone is already like exploring, smoking ciggies and weed and doing bad stuff outdoors, it kind of. I don't know. Didn't really motivates me to make the best out of my guitar career. So my sister actually brought me to a rave when I was 16.
Right.
And I remember I was one of the only.
What kind of rave was it?
It was like a hardstyle music, so it's like a gabber.
I mean, you are from Rotterdam, so the home of is it Jabba? Gabber. That's how you pronounce it. Yeah,
it's the home of. I think beginning of the 90s. It's just like 150 BPM plus.
I know Gabber from back in the days because I was a raver in Germany, like in the late 90s, you know. And they had that stuff as well, you know? And it was a really big sound in Germany as well.
Yeah, in Germany.
Big distorted kick drums, boom, 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 you know.
And then for me, as a 16-year-old boy who was only playing, I was listening to a lot of hip-hop back with my friends. And then in school, I was doing a lot of jazz and bluesy stuff. And then I went to this party for the first time, going to a rave, experiencing that, seeing all these guys topless, going nuts on like a big sound system. But I loved it, man. I loved it. Like me, especially with my friends, we had the best time with my sister. My sister was a bit older, and then we just for 4 years straight we went almost every weekend to a rave. Then I fucked up school as well back then. I remember the 1 year, like my exams, I had to do it over again because of that time. But it also really inspired me in a way that I make music now.
You're telling about that a little bit. Yesterday when we're doing the Q&A in Dojo, I'm gonna get into that as well. So like, what was it about the rave that got you coming back? Like, why did you want to keep back and doing it every weekend? Like, what was it about the rave that fascinated you?
Yeah, it was also just the friendship I had with like a group of friends, and then just like you have your live during the week. That sounds a bit sad actually, but it's just actually normal for I think a lot of people. That it's a kind of escape of the life you live. And that's not a bad thing at all. I think so. We couldn't wait to get back with the friends each other to just go raving for 8 hours and jumping and sweating and you get fucked up.
I mean, it was really kind of the same for me, you know. You know, you go to your first rave, you go to your first sort of club night, and you're like, this is dope. Like, I want to do this all of the time, you know? And also, like, the people you meet. I mean, it's kind of almost like a cliche, right? The strangers that you meet at a rave, and then like you strike up friends with them, and then you see the next weekend and next weekend. And like as a sort of in your teens or late teens is so cool because like club culture is almost like also like a forbidden world, like a little bit, you know? It's a little bit illegal sometimes, you know what I mean? And like and being there and then just experiencing it when you're like a young dude is just like super cool.
Yeah,
you know?
that's the rush you get, you know? Like like my parents didn't always like it, and I did some stuff that was maybe not really legal and stuff, but that was the rush and the love for the music as well. And then I remember then the first time my friend went with his mom to Ibiza.
Right.
My best friend, still my best mate, and we know each other since we're also like 9-10 years old. And then he told me, bro, I experienced also these rave, but then with house music, and I was with my mom, and then I ended up in.
His mom sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. But his mom actually went to the hotel, and he ended up in Club Eden, I think.
Right.
And then he tagged along with like 2 older Dutch women that took him under his wing.
Yeah.
He was like 18.
Right.
And then he came home with like crazy stories about Ibiza, and he said, "We need to go together."
Okay.
And then we booked it, and then we went together.
How old were you then when were your first trip to Ibiza?
I think 19.
Okay, yeah.
19.
And that was already like 2-3 years of raving back in the Netherlands.
Yeah, because I started quite young, 16.
Right, yeah, same here. I started 16 as well.
16.
Yeah.
But back in the day, when I was 16, I could still order a beer at the bar when you were 16. And then the first... The shit thing was when I turned 17, the law changed. That you
because Germany drinking age is 16 as well.
It's still.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh no, in Holland they changed it to 18 while I was 17. So 1 year I could drink a beer, and then another year I couldn't drink. It was really shit actually. But
okay, so tell me about the Ibiza trip then.
Yeah.
So what happened there?
Like my friend was really into music, house music, and I just got it was my first house event. I remember seeing...
Do you remember where you went?
Yeah, Amnesia opening party.
Okay.
With Ledman and Detlef.
Okay.
And Kaal and Baum.
Yeah. Okay.
And who else? That's the only 4 names I remember.
Baptism of fire, as they say. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and I think Detlef just had this track Swag on.
Yeah.
It's kind of a remix. And then we were literally walking with a like a jukebox speaker, kind of. It was the first GBL Bluetooth big one. They were just out back then and walking on the beach with Detlef on Playa de Bossa. And then people come to you.
How long was this holiday? How long did you guys
10 days.
stay? 10 days. Okay. Yeah. That's enough to light the fire, basically. Yeah.
And that was the first year.
Okay.
And then the second year we went another 10 days. But it was it's funny. The first year it's called now the Twins. It was called Hotel Tres Carabellas. And it's now the Twins. It's at Playa de Bossa, and we booked like 2 separate rooms. But then we found out we were only chilling in one room.
Right.
So the next year, instead of 2 rooms, we booked the suite.
Right.
With the balcony.
Right.
With the ocean view.
Yeah.
And then we brought Dex the second year with us, like in and KRK speakers, Rockets.
Yeah.
And then we had this set up on the balcony with, and we were 20 or so. Yeah. And then and
bringing people back after the party.
Literally,
and stuff like that.
there was like in front of the hotel, there was like boat parties coming in, and then they heard music from all the way up, and then they saw us with our sunglasses, like like grooving, and then like getting people up there, and we had the best time of our lives. And that was like my friend was already DJing a lot,
right?
And I actually I told this story as well on the BBC, I think, but I got him a gig. I was like acting like a manager. So I got him a gig at Bora Bora. You remember Bora Bora?
Yeah, I remember Bora Bora. Yeah.
But not like a proper gig, but it was just during the day. You could do a set for people who arrived there to go on a boat party and have like 2 drinks together and then go to the boat.
Right, gotcha.
And there he was playing because I told someone from the club that because he had a free download on SoundCloud, which was going pretty good. that I was his manager, and we posted on Instagram getting ready for Misha's set.
It's funny, that's everybody always has that friend, because I have a really good friend, one of my best friends, James, and we went to Ibiza all the time, and he would always pretend to be my manager as well, although there was nothing to be managed back then. You know what I mean?
No, it was just
he would just pretend.
Though.
Yeah,
it
he was like, and he'd be like, oh my god, he would like, we'd start talking to girls, and he'd be like, Ben's playing at Amnesia on the main floor later today, and I was like, I was a bedroom DJ at that time.
Was that true?
No, of course not. It was just lies, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, gotta go along with it. Like, yeah, okay. And it's just like, just lying through our teeth, but funny times. Okay, so that ignited the fire for house music. At what point did you think, I need more than just to be a raver and a consumer? Maybe like, you know, you were already somebody that played in bands, somebody that played the guitar. At what point do you think, I want to mess around with production or even start DJing, you know?
Literally after that second holiday in Ibiza, because there I just jumped on the decks with my friend for hours and hours on this balcony, drinking yerbas and playing. And then and I already had a studio at home. I was using Reaper. You know Reaper?
Yeah.
Like this free DAW. Now it's not free anymore, but back in the day you could like endlessly use the demo. And I was already recording guitars. I had like this little space at home. It's the old bedroom of my sister, which is still my studio now.
Right.
And my main studio, how I can say. But there, after that week, I just thought. Because my friend already was producing, and I always thought like, oh, I'm already too old.
Yeah.
I thought that when I was 21. Yeah. I thought like, I had to like start when I was 14, like my friend, to even get a bit of knowledge of it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But because I already like, I played in a few bands, like you said, and with my electric guitar, I built like a pedal board with a lot of sounds. So unconsciously, I was already like creating sounds with my guitar and using reverb, delays,
and stuff like
amplifiers.
That. Right. Okay, gotcha.
And it's actually, and then when I just got Ableton on my laptop and I just locked in, it was actually quite easy to get a hold of it for me.
Yeah,
like,
to understand it. Yeah. Okay.
Because of the background I had. The only problem was like I was more of a songwriter and a guitarist, and everything I made sounded like bluesy and poppy and funky, and I wanted to create this fucking weird house
almost
stuff.
You have to unlearn your old habits.
Yes,
you know?
exactly.
Like
Because my first my first proper EP, solo EP, was on Piff.
Right.
And it was really musical with a Rhodes solo, and it was in a Dorian mode skill, so it was like a bit more happy, jazzy. But I wanted to make, because I also went straight after that Ibiza event, we went to a lot of slapfunk parties in Holland. And then there they were playing like basement, dirty, stripped back, weird,
very percussive,
chunky grooves.
Yeah.
And every time I was making a beat in Ableton, it sounded so straight and clean, and I was like, how the fuck do they get this swing as well? And it was just all like like I asked those guys, because one is a good close friend, and he was just like
the two brothers.
No, you know the drill. They actually played at my latest event. After 8 years, they played again.
Okay.
His name is Borren, and he said, "Bro, I don't use, I don't quantize my drums. I just use MPC with old, and then I crank up the saturation and like really badly. And I just type like that, like." Type them in, you know.
Yeah.
And
it's the MPC swing. Yeah.
Yeah. So and I was trying to.
He used an actual MPC.
Yeah,
or he used
MPC.
Okay, right.
He used just an MPC and then just recorded himself and don't quantize it.
Yeah.
And that's why it goes like this.
I mean, the Archive MPC not only gives you that groove, that classic swing, but it also gives you the sound as well, because it's like, depends on what version you have, but like the MPC 60 is like a 12-bit, you know, like sampler. And like one of my favorite settings is like plugins Decimort, Archive MPC 60, you know, because it made the crunchy kind of 90s kind of drum sounds, you know? Okay, that's really interesting. So like the guys told you about the MPC, but then Did you then think like, oh, I got to get some machines, or like how did you then develop your sound?
And I'm really bad in I tried to do like, I want to do this DAW setup, but it never really worked out. I just had
They're hard to learn, man.
Yeah, I just had like a 909 clone TR9.
Yeah, TR9.
And then you have 808 and 909 with it, and I got a mini Logue. But then I had some really a lot of latency issues, and back then I didn't even know how to solve that. And in the end, I ended up just produce a lot in the box.
Yeah.
But then getting better samples as well, and actually I made a nice track with his like tips of like not quantizing a lot of your stuff, you know. That's why it sounds so robotic. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I like to have like really straight drums.
Yeah.
But when I tried to remake what I really liked, what I was hearing at those parties, it really helped me to just adjust the MIDIs yourself. And not in the right way, and just listen to how it sounds.
So when you went to those parties, like the slap funk parties, did you at that point already decide like, hey, I want to give the whole DJing, like doing a career in DJing, a go, or was this purely for like exploring for fun?
Yeah, it was all fun.
Yeah.
All fun, and then just like maybe in my back of my head, like I had a dream. But not like focusing too much on a dream to be a DJ or whatever. I just really like the parties, and I really like to fuck around in the studio to create music. And then also like I finished quite quick some songs that were straight away being played on dance floors in Rotterdam by smaller DJs with smaller parties in Toffler and stuff. And that's how I really easily got like some footage of like my tracks getting played at these clubs.
Right.
Get my first gig, and then the snowball effect started rolling actually, and the grind never stopped. And here we are. That's actually long story short.
There's a few steps in between. There's a few more steps in between that I want to get to. Like I first became aware of you on your Eastenderz release.
Oh yeah.
You know, like I played that record a lot, and I think this was already like 2023. I think it was like 2020 early 2023. So late 2022 it came out, early 2023. I think.
3 years ago. Yeah. So something like that.
And like with the support from Eastenderz and Eastenderz, I saw you like you going to the UK a lot.
Yeah.
And I found it unusual because you have such a great scene in the Netherlands, and they really support local talent. You know, like all of the big promoters, like Up and Coil, whatever, they always book local up and comers alongside support for the big names. You know, and you can get really busy as a Dutch DJ even before you have an international career, just playing local events. But for you, it's kind of the other way around. How did that happen? Why was it UK first, and then?
I don't know. I never really pushed myself out there too much. Along the way, I did it a bit more to network and stuff. But especially in the beginning, I was really insecure. I'm still am, I think. But and I just really liked back in the days that Fuse sound. Like I remember going to Fuse, seeing Eastenderz play at Fuse at Lo-Fi. It was the first year that Lo-Fi was opened, Lo-Fi in Amsterdam during ADE before COVID.
Right.
It was 2019, I think. And there they inspired me to try to make those with more UK rhythms, and then I just really focused on making that and sending it to Eastenderz, because to be honest, like I went to some you call Apenkooi Strafwerk events, but I was never really inspired by a lot of Dutch artists.
Right.
I don't know, just didn't click in my head.
It was the UK sound.
Yeah,
and
I'm not gonna call names, but one time, like one of the legends, and I played with him. He said, like, "Why didn't you never send me music?" And I was like, "Yeah, sorry, but you never really inspired me while he's actually a great amazing DJ. But back in the day I was just like also a bit tunnel vision, you know, like I really wanted to make that sound I heard at that night at Lo-Fi with Fuse. So that was just my main focus, and then I just totally went for that. And then when that clicked, I was like moving on a bit.
And I think like, you know, like just like the Netherlands, the UK is a market which has really passionate people who are fanatical about music, you know? And like, and you can tell at the parties, you know, like there's so many people who just like, you know, they're making tunes, they're DJs themselves. When a certain track comes on, like a certain underground track that goes off, it's like a pop song in the UK. Like all of a sudden they start singing the melodies along, you know. And,
and especially like, that was the most fun thing. Like I remember my first, it was actually my second show in London, was 93 Fees for Eastenderz as well. And I made this track at the house, and Eastenderz was playing it already for like a few months, and it was already a lot of hype. But nobody knew me, only the track. But I was actually supposed to play in the second room of 93. In the end, they combined the lineup to one room. It was with Dimish, I think. And then they gave me like a proper slot, and Chase Dubs was not there. I know Itek. Do you know Itek? Maybe. Only him was there, and we met each other. And then I was so nervous. And my best friend from Ibiza, he was also with me. And then I came on that stage, and then I played that record at the house, and all those phones went up, and I never experienced something like that in my life. And I was like, what the fuck? What, like you can
they know their shit, you know.
And I think I still have a video. You can see me look back at my friend like, holy fuck, what is happening? and then I had such a buzz like from that show. And I did a lot of shows as a guitarist, but this was a totally different feeling.
Buzz.
And that really motivated me. Like, okay, now I'm gonna lock in.
And, so you went home with like a new focus, basically.
Literally. And then I think those videos really, because then I had like a video of like a club going like totally wild with my tune in England as a small artist from Holland, and that really maybe touched some promoters in Holland to book me as well. And then
Holland quickly started catching up with what the UK already knew what was going to happen. I want to talk a little bit more about music production process now. Like, so like, when did you at this time? So you said you went back home from that event at 93 Feet East, and you really started locking in. What happened in that time? Like, did anything happen in your production process where you think like now something clicked? Was there something about your production process that changed after that, or what does locking in mean for you at that time?
Locking in was like trying to get better every day. So really like looking at every video of other artists, listening, comparing. I joined this group on Discord with the Marsolo. We also had a lot of friends in Holland.
So actually educating yourself.
Literally educating, and still. Because I always felt like I was just lucky to make a tune. I still do. I was just lucky in the studio or something, you know, like this feeling.
But I think the luck is something that you generate yourself, and the luck comes from practicing a lot, basically. You know?
And I know that, but it's sometimes just hey, I'm just jamming along, and then this in my head happens that this maybe is nice, or this is a nice hook, or I can use this synth that maybe some people don't use, but I use it in a certain way that it clicks for me, and if it clicks for me, maybe other people would like it as well. But yeah, it still feels sometimes like luck. I know that like all those years of like doing guitar stuff or raving with other parties, all this little stuff combined make you to a producer or DJ that you are.
Yeah. I think it's really important that you said like that you when educating yourself every day, absorb everything that you can, because this is the message to the people also that are watching this podcast. It's like education is just, it never stops.
No.
And in this game you can always level up, you can always get better. You know? Did you at this point like have anybody that you could work with, or was this like a process where you went through it alone?
No. I reached out a lot actually. I even took like some piano lessons, but it never lasted really long. But most of the times it was just like, oh shit, I want to learn this or need to know that. And then I booked in a session with or a piano teacher or I had like mixing lessons, like 4 or 5 mixing lessons from this guy who's still my IT nerd. Let's call him like that. Every time I have a problem with my laptop, I call this guy. And he teaches me more that I knew already so much, but it was just me thinking that I still need to find some magic, but I should trust my ears more and focus on training my ears more.
Right.
And that was also the moment that it way more clicked for me, that I can now easily get like a really bad mix from someone with proper sounds, though. It needs, that's the beginning. But what is a proper sound? And why does these sound match well? And I think when I trained that through my ears, and I gained some more, how do you say that? Confidence in that. Yeah. Then that was the moment I started to work faster as well. My workflow became way faster. Because in the beginning I was so struggling with my mixes, and then I made a really nice. I still have like some old project that the melodies were so amazing because I was focusing more on that than mixing, and now I'm actually sometimes too much about like, oh, how is this sounding in a mix, or it kills my creativity a bit. But back in the day, like if the song was nice but the mix was so shit, I couldn't fix it. Later on. I don't know why. I just couldn't.
It's funny how that is, because like I remember having the same problem when I started out, and I had a real problem with my mix downs, and I always had this guy doing my mix downs, and he was really unreliable. Like the guy loved to party, and like you would book in a session with him like on Monday, and like he wouldn't show up because he was out all weekend, and he wouldn't show up. And I remember I was so pissed off like one time where he didn't show up. Then I was like, I'm never going to book this guy again to help me with my mix down. I'm going to do it myself, and I just did it myself, and it didn't sound great, but it sounded okay, and then I did it again and again and again, and then something, as you said, like your confidence grows, something starts to click. And all of a sudden, like I found myself like my ears are trained now. Like I can tell immediately what's wrong with the mix. I can hear the bottom end is muddy. And before that, it all sounded the same to me. You know what I mean? Like you didn't even, sometimes some people would do the mix down and they'd be like, oh yeah, that sounds so much better now. And I was like, sounds exactly the same. Like, like I couldn't tell the difference, But then all of a sudden something clicks.
Dynamics.
Something clicks and then your ear is trained, know? It's funny.
I just have to click sometimes. And it was, I know the feeling that when it happened that I was really happy to understand certain little things. But there's still so much to learn always. And I also went, actually it was lately I went again back to school for it's an electronic music program 2 days a week.
Right.
Another did the same course.
Amazing. And they did that recently?
They did it before the first album.
Okay, tell me about this course.
It's not like a course, it's more like the University of Arts, like university.
Right.
It's like a proper degree.
Like a diploma type of thing.
It's like a proper school. And you had like 4 years, 5 days a week kind of thing. MHI did that. MHI?
Yeah.
And that's why he's also so...
He's a wizard.
A genius, but I only did because I was already having some shows. I did the 2 days a week, and I didn't finish it because after 1 year, and another at the same, they didn't finish it. They took exactly what they needed. they literally walked in there. I think they I can't speak for them.
What is part of this degree? Do you learn an instrument? Do you learn production?
It's literally artist focused. So so they look at you like, what is your when you think that you know that who you are and what you stand for, they will like undress you all the way.
Right.
And then but I remember like they asked me like, why do you want to do this thing? Because you have to do audition, and I hope to find myself who do I want to be as an artist. And then they also told me like, but it can also happen that after this thing you are even farther away for there's a lot of different types of teachers that ask you really difficult and good questions that makes you think, and there's also like some teachers that are focusing on like mixing, like really technical and practical stuff, and the combination is really nice. It was amazing. It was also a lot of shit I didn't like, but that's cool. The first month you make your electronic press kit, thinking about your branding and everything. So it's a combination of everything, and
that's amazing. That's an amazing program. I love that.
And the program is so good, and the teachers are so good, and I think Holland is really an outstanding country of having programs within the music industry like that. So I'm really happy I did it. I didn't finish it. That's sad.
But you definitely got something out of it.
Yeah, and it's also within the music industry. Like I never went to that school to get this little paper.
Right.
My mom,
it's to learn the skills, right?
Yeah,
so,
but my mom would have
liked it
if I did had this paper. But they also know now that it's not always, especially in this industry, it doesn't say anything. You know?
No, and there's the piece of paper in the end. It doesn't really matter for life skills later on. Like
when you go to the dentist.
You can't. The piece of paper, you can't show that really. Like no employer really cares about like the piece of paper. They care about your skill set, your motivation, your drive. You know what I mean? And then like, you know, when you're an artist, you know, you don't even have an employer. You work for yourself, you know, like you do your own thing. You come up with your own ideas. I want to talk about that a little bit more, about your creative process. When do you know a track is ready? And sometimes, like you said to me, like you also have stuff that you don't release. What's what makes you decide what to release and what not to release, and when you know something's ready?
Nowadays, I think I only release, or when I'm so happy with it myself, as like a B-side track. Like it has some, you know, like I wanted to teach myself something, or to make a little bit of a different tune, and that goal in my head achieve. Like I achieved the goal in my head. Then I'm happy with it.
Right.
Or it just works on the dance floor.
So really testing it basically. Right.
Sending it to DJs, seeing it going off, that really helped.
Do you have a good feeling for what's going to work before? Do you know before which ones will work and which one don't?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay.
But it still surprises me sometimes.
Yeah.
Also, stuff I really think like this is so sick, and then it doesn't work at all.
Yeah. Like I'm not very good at telling which one's gonna work. Sometimes I think like that's the one, and then like, you know, it doesn't do anything, and then the one that I didn't think was the one sort of takes off. Yeah. From your biggest record, Positive, did you know before?
Yeah. I had a good feeling about that.
Right.
Like a really good one. I don't know.
It's funny
because I don't. This is also I haven't had it in the studio after. Oh yeah, maybe twice, but not like this. Like I really wanted it to finish the track as soon as possible. Yeah. So I did it literally everywhere. Like when I made it on Friday evening. The first beginning of the track. The next morning I had to travel to the UK, and back then I went by train, and then in the plane, like, you know, when they tell you like put away your laptops for taking off. I was like sneaky, like, oh, is she gone?
I'm still
and like opening the laptop again, and then put my headphones on, because I didn't want to stop.
Okay.
I was hooked on it, like on the project, because I felt and that feeling is the best feeling in the world, I think.
Yeah, I think when you know, like, you're onto something, it's like an obsession.
Yeah,
you know?
It's an obsession. Yeah, it is. The whole thing is a little bit of obsession. If it's not an obsession, like you don't put the effort in that it's needed, I think, to make it a success. Some of my friends, they sometimes don't like when I come over and have a lot of stuff to talk about music, because it's so much happening sometimes, and I'm so obsessed with it, so, like in a certain way, that there's something like, bro, what the fuck? Let's just talk about football, bro.
It's also like a strange life where people don't really like. When you're in it, like everybody's impressed when people manage to build careers in music.
Yeah.
But it's so far removed from, the average person's life, you know, when you go to all of those places and you play music everywhere and you have all of these experiences. And like, obviously, like you get to become friends with other DJs and stuff. And for them, it's very normal, you know what I mean? Yeah. They have the same experiences as you. But for like the average person, it's like, I'm always surprised sometimes how, impressed people are sometimes with this kind of career. For like, because you kind of get used to it, right? Like it becomes your life. It becomes normal to get on the plane every weekend. You know? But for other people, that's like a big thing, you know. So
it's getting. And what I also sometimes think is that everyone know.
Everything that you did.
No. But like, for instance, when I'm like having a conversation with someone and trying to explain, because they ask me questions like, "What do you do?" and blah blah blah, and then I'll say like, "Oh yeah, maybe do you know do you know Palsa?" And they say no. And then for me,
you think that everybody knows the scene?
Everyone knows the scene, but it's actually, but I actually really like it, and that was the beginning as well that I really liked about this scene. Like it's so like still underground, which is now totally changed though.
Yeah,
because like on the airport or in the supermarket, some people in Holland like I had a date 2 weeks ago with a girl I haven't seen in 8 years. We met in Australia, and she knew that I was a DJ, but she's
Follow
not
it.
In the scene or whatever. And we were just walking through Amsterdam. And then some guy at the snack bar, he said Jamback, and like in really loud, and like suddenly, and like she was like shocked because like it scared her, like the reaction, and I was like, and then it was so weird to experience that, and especially for her. Because she was like, huh?
To be honest, I always love it when somebody recognizes me.
It is.
The thing is, I think for us, for DJs, it's the perfect amount of fame, right? Because like, I mean, obviously there's different levels to it, right? You know, when you're Jamie Jones is very different than when you're like, you know,
Stassi, like
it's very different at that level, you know what I mean? Because if you have 1 million followers, like people will come up to you all of the time, you know what I mean? But I think generally, like as a DJ, you have a good amount of fame because people will come to you at a party usually and they want to take a picture with you at the party. But then you leave the party and you're in the restaurant and you're just a normal person like everybody else. You know what I mean? And that's what I like, you know what I mean?
That's exactly.
Can you imagine how it would be when you're like a Hollywood film star and people are chasing you around in cars like the paparazzi? It'd be horrible, you know what I mean?
I wouldn't like that at all. I wouldn't like that at all.
But then having said that, there's some people, you know, in our scene now, like the scene is so much bigger now, you know what I mean? Where you see, as you said, like people like Stassi, people like Paws or whatever, who are like genuinely have an audience of millions of people, you know?
It's crazy, man, because I remember I was with Stas at the Hide and Seek Festival 2 years ago. And then we tried, like we didn't go into the area of the festival. Because when he walks there, like it's Robbie Williams, you know, like everyone is just like running.
Everybody wants to have a chat. Everybody wants to take a picture.
And but it's just the way it is. And sometimes it's that's why I really like certain parties still in Amsterdam. It's really laid back and cool,
relaxed,
and relaxed. Because we want to also have a nice party. Like I still
be in the crowd and dance.
I still go to parties myself.
Don't be locked away in a backstage area. You know what I mean? Just have a dance and be out and about.
I actually went to Enzo Siragusa all night long last weekend, just to dance. I stayed there 7 hours dancing, listening to his music, listening to his sets, and that's actually a type of place where everyone is really like. Of course, you have sometimes, hey man, love your music, and that's lovely. But then there's also a safe environment for me to let go a bit and just be Jake instead of because sometimes in England, man, to be honest, which I love to play there for them, but sometimes I'm at the party playing and then I'm like, I can't imagine like being in this crowd for 7 hours. Because it gets hectic.
It gets hectic. And a lot of people want to take pictures and come up to you and stuff like that. Yeah.
So worth
I think it's a small trade-off for the life that we get to live. You know what I mean? And as I said, it's not like it's not like Hollywood fame where like it takes over your life, where you like every time you're leaving the house, it's a military precision operation. You know what I mean? And you have to have bodyguards with you to keep people away and stuff like that. Did you have like any idea of what it would be like to like have this career and like being really busy? Like how, now that you have it, is it different from what you thought it was going to be? Is it harder? Is it easier? Like what do you feel?
It's obviously it's harder in a way that especially the touring is harder than I thought. Especially like I'm still a young guy, and it's I see myself as quite someone that can easily handle lack of sleep and stuff. Still, I hope it will last. But it's also my own decision sometimes. Most of the times when I feel like really rough,
it's your own decision.
It's my own decision. It's not like because of the work.
It's because you stayed longer than...
Because I just fucked it up. Like literally. But when it actually feels even more rough when you do all the good decisions, but you still feel really rough because you go from the gig, you go straight to your bed, but then you have 2 hours sleep for the next gig.
Or just lying there, like, you know what I mean?
And you have 2 hours sleep for the taxi, or 1 hour sleep, and then again, like 4 countries in 1 weekend, 5 shows.
That's rough.
And then I didn't even party or do fun stuff. So then it feels even more rough, because then it's like, hey, when you made your own fucking bullshit decision that you stayed at an after party and you feel rough about it, it's still like, but in your mind, I made that stupid decision,
and it could have been different.
And then when you feel like really rough because of it's just like going on and on and on. Then I was like, oh shit, this is hectic. And then I was not blaming. I was still blaming myself for maybe making the decision with my agent to do all these shows in a row.
Sleep deprivation is real, and like and also like being smart about how you plan things is really important. Like I learned that also the hard way. I remember like like I don't tour as much anymore now as I used to do back then, but this was just before COVID, and I was in South America. I did a 3-show weekend in South America, and then flew home and was in Berlin for like 3 hours, and then had to board a flight for 26 hours to go to Australia. But when I was in South America, I got tonsillitis, like a throat infection, Man, and I felt really ill.
Those are the worst.
And then I went to the doctor, and he gave me like, have this penicillin, and I got the penicillin. I upgraded my flight, I was like, I don't care how much it costs. I got to upgrade the flight so I can sleep, And I flew to Australia, but I was like lying in this bed, like with the fever, sweating, and lying in my seat, and I was just like, this is rough. And then after that, I thought, I'm never gonna do something like that again. To have like, not even like a day break between 2 long haul flights, and it doesn't matter how much money it is. You just gotta be smart with this stuff, But like I totally hear you. Like sometimes like those 4-show weekends or 3-show, 4-show weekends can be really, really grueling. And sleep deprivation is a real thing.
Yeah, I think when you become a dad, like you know how tired it can be.
Sleep deprivation is also a thing for parents.
Yeah, for parents, because like I don't want to say like only like if you start touring, like because
or nurses, taxi drivers, plenty of jobs.
I never felt tired like that. Like I never could have sleep like sitting down. I never could like back in the day because you were never so tired that you actually can. I think. Or some people have the ability to sleep everywhere. But then you're special. I think that's not normal.
It's a superpower.
That's a superpower. But now, man, even on my way here, like on the flight, When I'm sitting down not doing anything, I get really tired when I had a weekend with and I just crash.
Just nod off. Yeah.
And that's not good for your creativity. It's not good for your productivity. But you know that as well. So you have to balance it. And this is something I'm still looking for, man.
Yeah, and it's like, and you'll figure it out as you go along. One thing that I realized, and maybe this is a tip for you, is that like, but also you did this while you were here. I noticed it's like you went to the gym while you were here, right? So things really started changing for me while I was going to the gym while I'm on tour, you know?
No, I started...
And you think, you're in the hotel room and you think like, oh my God, I can't be asked now. Like, I'm already tired.
Yeah.
Now to have the energy to go to the gym. But I realized every energy that you put in the gym, you get twice as much back basically, you know? So that really helped me.
I did it... Because I actually still need to lose some weight. No, but I had a really good gym routine like 2.5 years ago, before my mom passed away. And then when my mom passed away, I lost it, and then I just focused on surviving with the grief, and also just decided to just play on with the shows. So it was a bit of a rough 2 years for me.
Yeah.
Year and a half. It's still rough.
Yeah, of course.
Still quite
fresh.
Still quite fresh. Like we're here in February now, so it's 2 years, 2 months.
I remember talking to you about this at the time when your mom passed away. You know, you know, and you know, as is completely normal. It went a little bit quiet for you around you, like for a time, but you still then released music. You know, like pretty shortly after. You know, you were like back in the studio. Did creativity help you with your grief at all, or did keeping busy help you?
Yeah, keeping busy. I think and I don't like a lot of people would say that's not a good way. But I just kept on grinding quite quickly after. I took like 4 or 5 weeks off. And then I just got back on the road, and I had my moments like especially on flights where I just like had like breakdowns. So when I was by myself on a 4-hour flight from, I think it was South America, from Chile to Lima. And then there was no internet on there, and I was just then you get forced into your own head.
Yes, and it
then
comes out.
And then I just literally cried for like 3 hours, and the flight attendant came to me. Are you right? And I'm like, yeah, just leave me for a bit. And then everything came out a few times. But actually, like it gave me also strength to focus on this little music project I'm doing, because I really feel like more motivated than ever to make it work also for her. And then also I made that track positive actually.
Did this have to do with your mother? The track, was that the
a little
inspiration?
Bit,
Yeah. Tell me more about like
not
the
when like
track,
but I found out later on because it was this moment in my life that I felt really shit, and I went to the studio and just tried to forget my thoughts and just to get lost in the groove and get lost in the music. This was also the moment that I made that track, and then I called it positive straight away as well, because also the second drop is really euphoric. And I just had this euphoric feeling from the track, which I really liked. And there's a little story in this track. Actually, like most of my tracks have it. Like there's the first drop, and the second drop is a bit different. Can go euphoric or can go like really different. And it's like a little story. It's not really usual in house music.
That comes from your gabba roots, right?
Yeah, maybe, maybe it does.
Because you were telling me about the cinematic breaks that
maybe
like,
it does. And like with the suddenly a stoppage of 2 bars, and then the lead comes in, and the silence, and then I think live that does that gives it a bit more of hype. But later on, like when we were closer to the release, it made it more clear to me that it had like a bit more meaningful
That's amazing. Like I think it's amazing that you discovered that later on. That it had more meaning than you thought it had. You know?
Yeah. I was not sitting there like, I'm now gonna make a tune for my mom. No.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to do that a few times. I made some chord progressions I really liked, but they were all really always like lo-fi, slow jams, no house music. And with Jamback, I want to try to focus a bit more on the house.
But I think it's beautiful that you've gone through that period, a very difficult period. Then you make a track that's called Positive, and it becomes the thing that just made your career, basically.
Yeah,
you know,
it's really that's also her helping, I think, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's really, really beautiful.
And I'm really grateful of.
It's her spirit coming through, guiding you along, you know. I think it's an amazing story. So, you know, like obviously this track has kind of gotten a life of its own now, you know. Like yesterday we're talking about people seeing like videos on TikTok with football and they're putting the track underneath. Did you you said like you knew kind of before, but to me it's so unusual because it's not a track that has a vocal, and it's very unusual to have a track without a vocal go this big, you know? Like it's kind of what's happened since this track has sort of gotten so huge. Like how has your life changed since then?
Well, obviously like before the release, I was already like, because I knew this was gonna be a big release because of the videos going around and like the hype around it. But how it has changed is like my team has changed in a way that I added some more people to my team. So I got a management deal. I made a lot of new connections within the scene that really. What I'm really grateful and happy about, because I also feel like it's all genuine connections. It's not only like, of course, like people always want to work with you when you have like a track that's selling well or whatever, you know. But I'm a pretty sensitive person, and I think everyone knows that. And maybe also a bit business minded, but always going from my heart. My team changed, and that all turned out that I'm having a amazing year ahead. If I look at my calendar, I'm actually terrified. But we also make proper decisions. But because actually last year, last year during the period of when that track had some hype, I also had another release on Rossi's label that was doing quite good. And I had another release. Conversation. Another release on OG Records. It's a small label in Amsterdam that also did quite well. And my strategy was actually for myself, like just get myself out there as much as possible. So I think I did 166 shows.
Wow!
And a lot also in England and in Ibiza. I did a lot in Ibiza, and every time I went to Ibiza, I stayed for 5 days to just show my face. And very also because I just love to be there on the dance floor. But also in the back of my mind to just like because people knew the track but didn't know like because the track was going so viral with Stassi playing it a lot and it was literally a viral track. But in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, now I need to get myself out there and then sort myself a team by end of the year. And that's how I got with Prime Culture. Because I went actually to DC10 like every Thursday and Monday.
Great,
but it's still
great team, you know.
And that happened it still happened organically though. I think because I was still having some more options because I really want to feel like cool with if you start to work with people. And then that was the goal. And then this year it's just all about like doing the right thing on the right places.
Look, I mean, getting out in front of people is like, that's how you build your name, build your brand. People have got to experience you. They got to hear the DJ sets, you know. I've heard that you're doing some really long DJ sets this year as well. You're going to do like a long Toys Half and one, you know, like you've got plenty of plenty of sets coming up where people are really going to understand who you are as a DJ. You know?
And that's also what I really like. I played 2 weeks ago and all night long in Amsterdam because I really love to open. I really like to open.
Start the night slowly,
and I really have a big 120 BPM kind of tracks that I haven't played for a long period because. Last year when I was doing a bit more smaller events, I was sometimes the headliner on these smaller parties or the closing act or whatever, not the opening act anymore. And now I get to start to play the big shows. For instance, I'm doing Mumbai Circo Loco with Stassi, Corolla, Maupi, and Bibi.
Okay,
and
crazy.
me. There's like the Avengers. People say that's the Avengers of the house scene or whatever. But like so, and then I can open again. And I hope people don't expect me to play pop positive. But I really look forward to it.
Well, you play whatever you want to play, basically. You know?
But I really like to start the night slow always. So.
Okay. I want to talk a little bit about your team. Yesterday, like when we were at my house, you showed me some footage that you've been shooting while you're on tour.
Yeah.
And I really loved like your approach to like content, and it was almost like filmmaking, you know, like really like mini documentaries. And I hadn't seen anything like that in a while. I've seen people doing long form in a great way. You know, Josh Baker's done long form. Stassi has done really kind of sort of documentary style content as well. But yours was really like artistic and cinematic and really different. Tell me a little bit about that. Who was the idea behind that? Who were you working with together?
I was on Asia-Australia tour with Timo Noordhoek. And he's a friend of mine from Amsterdam. And it was his idea to shoot it like this. And then when I just like, it was not, because everyone was filming like a straight...
upright, basically.
Upright, and because of the social media. And he said, let's go back landscape again. And then with a stand, like not moving, and then just not much talking, because I'm not like a vlogger who's talking to an iPhone. And the idea was just to showcase... Because we had a really nice tour with beautiful landscapes, beautiful nature.
Right?
Australia, Bali, Hong Kong, beautiful cities. And we had all the tools to capture those moments. And besides like all the gigs and the music where it's all about, let's make that clear for me. Like it's all about the music, the parties and the vibes I'm bringing to that. But I think it's also really nice for me as a person to be able to experience all these nice places. And while I'm experiencing that, we really had a fun time creating these content things, because it was like on we were just not busy with shows. We were just on a side quest, getting the best clip of koala. What koala?
and some kangaroos.
We literally drove fucking 8 hours. That was really stupid actually. Because we found out later that kangaroos only come with sunset most of the times. During the day they're hiding somewhere.
And you were looking,
and we were like, and ChatGPT, like ChatGPT, we asked like, where can we find some great kangaroos? And there was like, here, there, the Grampians, it's called. There's suddenly, and I was like, how far is that drive? Fuck, that takes us 6 hours, you know. And we had a little Shelby, but you know what? We just go for it. And along the way we did some stops, and then we were on a quest, and it turned out really great. I had a lot of compliments.
I really love like that content, and I think it's like genuinely you, and like amazing that you're kind of doing that stuff. You know, a lot of people are complaining that nowadays as a DJ, or you don't know, like you're supposed to be a producer, you're supposed to be a DJ, but you're also supposed to be like an influencer, a content creator. And I think if you find your own way of doing it and it's creative, basically, it can just add to what you're doing, and maybe not become something that is so annoying, you know?
Yeah, because I still find a lot of stuff really annoying.
Same. Yeah.
And I should post more or whatever. Or like on TikTok, that's also not my thing. But on TikTok, for instance, like I think the more ugly your videos look with a phone, the better they get. Yeah. I just like we just really like to try to create with because it's also like we try to like get the best quality as possible with the stuff we had, you know. And we had a car, we had a mount for on the car, and we had a drone, but not the most crazy expensive drone. And that was our little quest, you know. And then it's a bit more creativity behind it, and then I like it more as well.
Yeah.
And when I just like put your phone in your face and tell
Hey guys, whatever.
I don't like. It's not my thing, but I should do it more a bit. My manager, if he's watching, he sometimes pushes me to do stuff like that.
I think you found a really cool balance. I really love that content, and like I don't know if all the stuff that you showed me last night is already out yet. You know,
most of the stuff it was just a carousel post, so cool. But we're trying to make it as a one big YouTube video for it, and I'm planning to do some other stuff for it as well. And I might even start like not like this documentary thing, but a bit more like a series, because not like a vlog style, thing, not vlog style, but more like that I talk a little bit more, because I think people still like to see a little bit more of the jokes.
Yeah.
And not too serious here in a fancy studio.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, and also, like, you have a great personality, and like, you're a super approachable person. Like, you know, like, I think we met at a boat party. We met at the Piv boat party at Amsterdam.
It was straight away nice.
Yeah, and it was just straight away nice, just drinking, joking. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that can come across really, like, if you can just be you, right, and you don't have to pretend to be something else.
Yeah.
I think that's the best kind of content. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people just like you for you. You know what I mean? A couple of things that I want to still get into. Really, like, when you like building a career as an artist, you have to work self-motivated a lot of the time. And like, my biggest enemy was always myself, you know, like procrastinating, like, you know, not doing the things that I know I have to do. Like, how did you learn to work self-motivated, and how did you find the discipline to kind of keep showing up consistently and keep pushing the envelope?
I think it for me it's really going in like a natural flow that I'm even unconscious of doing it, because because it's such an obsession. But because I'm always so critical of myself, I could have done even more. Why haven't I finished the track the past 2 weeks? I still don't. I know people who are way more disciplined than me. I still fuck up at parties that I go to the afters and I punch myself in the face, like, why the fuck did you do that? Because now you're tired or whatever. So I don't see this question
like you're super self-disciplined. I think you probably are, you know. Maybe you don't see yourself.
I don't see myself, but that's also the critics I have for myself a lot. I'm really I think I am quite how do you say, self-critic?
So basically, like help me understand it the right way. Is it kind of that it's almost like the creative fever takes over, and then you just like, I want to finish it, basically?
When I make a tune and that's a good tune, it's just like during the process you get into this flow state. Yeah. And then when I notice, then I do everything also to finish it. I was last time I was in Ibiza. I rented a studio in Ibiza. I had it for 2 days, and the second day, I like normal people would leave at 11 p.m. in the studio to go to bed, but right at 1 hour before, I entered the flow state with a new project. And then I
can't leave.
And I had, and the owner of the studio is really nice. His name is Jay, and he said to me, bro, like, I'm going to bed, but like, you can have the studio. You can. The next day at 12, Ellen Alien is coming to work here. Right. She's from, maybe you know, she's from
I know her, German DJ.
And but you can have it till then. And I just didn't went to bed. I just finished the whole project because I knew, like, okay, I'm not in this studio for the next week. I'm also not in a studio studio for the next weeks. I'm in this state now. Fuck it, that I'm gonna be tired for the next 3 days.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna finish it.
Yeah, I know exactly this kind of flow state that you describe. You know, like where you're thinking like, this is tough. I am tired, but I know I'm onto something, and I wanna finish it, basically.
Because sometimes also like when I leave it for a few days, then this is my discipline that is missing. That sometimes I can't finish it anymore.
Right.
Or I don't like it anymore.
Yeah.
It's a weird process, man. And I'm a young guy, and I hope to find it sometime to have this perfect balance of my work flow. If you look at Marsolo, you know Marsolo?
Yeah.
He has this thing that 1 track a week.
Wow.
That's like his thing.
It's like clockwork,
And he does it. And man, I've got this promo, like it's not promo because the downloads aren't on. Unfortunately, but like I had this link that I could actually listen to all his stuff, and it's all good on him now that he's not sharing all his music because he wants. And that's that. Sorry, I'm going from a subject to subject.
No, that's fine. Like I love it. Give us some insights.
Some people, like he's a friend of mine as well, and then sometimes he shares a track, but most times he never shares.
Right.
But he's like, but if people, I want if people book me, that they get like some exclusive Marsolo things that only I can bring to the table. Otherwise, they can also book People the Clown.
You know, there's different kind of mindsets for that, and I've thought about this a lot. Right? Like, what's the best way? Should you keep kind of hold on to stuff and just give it to a select few people, or should you be really open with it? You know, one of my favorite people like that is Kolter.
Kolter,
right?
he just
shares everything. So,
but not to everyone, I think.
Yeah, no, I don't think to everybody. But if you're friends with him and he likes you and you like and he respects you, he will share everything. Like, you know, when you get the link.
And the 2024.
The link with like 300 tracks in it. You know, and you're like, every time you get it, there's 50 more tracks in it. You know what I mean? Or not every time you get it. Every time you check, there's 50 more tracks in it. You know, and there's so many in there. You know, and I'm just like, he's so funny. Like he's like, because he like, you know, I think he's a genius, but he's very humble. He doesn't really think of himself that way. And I'm like, dude, I was like, how the hell have you made another 100 tracks in like less than a year? And then he goes like, yes, but there's also a lot of shit in there. You know, he goes. I'm like, no, it's mostly pretty fucking dope.
Yeah, it's really fucking good.
You know,
I actually almost every weekend I check that. I got that link somewhere pinned. You know,
and like I remember when I had the link and I was like, am I still allowed to download like 2 years later? You know what I mean? Like, and then I asked you like, hey, like, can I? Because like I feel like I should ask before I go. So I asked, I was like, hey, do you have any link? And he goes like, but you still have the link. He goes like, just download. And I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, he's cool with it.
Yeah, he's such a nice. We have the same agent, and I'm happy to know him for quite a few years, and he's
legend.
He's such a legend, But I also get Marsolo with his mindset of it.
Yeah, and I also get that because I always used to do it more like Marsolo myself. You know, I was like holding on to stuff.
I actually, to be fair, like, and still am. Sometimes I finally have because I don't make 100 tracks a year, but when I do make a track, most of the times when I do finish a track, it's most of the time something nice. Otherwise, I don't finish it. Weird to say that actually, but then I'm also so hooked or stoked is the good word, that I want to share it with everyone. Like, finally I made something nice again. Here, like, have a listen.
Everybody
I
listen.
Can still do it. I can, or you know what I mean?
I get the same. If you're excited about something.
Then I remember that I had a conversation with someone else, and he said, "Bro, did you send it already to 3 people?" I said, "Yeah, but I was so happy. I wanted to share it, and they wanted to try it out, and I was like, I wanted to see a video of it, like in the crowd, so I put it down."
I don't think there's rules for that. You know, what I mean?
You can make your own rules, like Kolter. But because in the end, like, if it's fucking sick, people will still sign it.
Exactly. And it's like, and it's also like sometimes that creates the hype.
I get it. I get it. Like when this is, because that's unfortunate with house music. Unless it's like a timeless track that will always work. You have certain tracks, they just last a few months, and then it's done. You know, it's fun. A funny little house edit, and you hear it for a couple times on parties, and then it's just finished. Then I can remember. I can acknowledge the fact that some artists say like, if those 20-30 artists already played it out, I don't bother to play it anymore. But yeah, if you just really like it. For instance, do you know this track Peekaboo, released on Solid Grooves last year?
No, I don't. No.
I didn't even know it, but it ended up like top 10 best-selling tracks of the year, whatever,
right.
Deep Tech. And I found out like 8 months later of the release. And normally I'm quite on the releases or on the promos or whatever.
Yeah.
But and I used to play the original with the original vocal, like, but that's all really old track, really slow, 122 BPM. And then I just started playing it again, and other people were like, could say like, "Oh, it's so easy, like he's just playing a Beatport top 10 track." But sorry, I actually just found it, and I just want to play it.
For me.
Yeah, it's new. It's for me, it's new, and I like to play it because it's kind of new for me. So, but yeah, this mindset of a lot of different people, it's just like I try to keep it real to myself and just do it for the fun of it. And then
for me also, great music's great music. Doesn't matter if it's out or not, you know what I mean? Or like if it's been out for 6 months or not. It's like, obviously, like if you want to play that track, if it fits into the set, you play that track. Just finally, I want to ask, tell me a little bit about what's coming up for you in 2026. What are you excited about?
I'm doing a lot of shows with Circo Loco, which I'm really excited about. Because I only played once for them this year at the New Year's Day. And it's also in 6 countries, like I've never even been. Like for instance, Poland.
Right.
I'm not sure when you're putting this out, but Mumbai, I've been once, played there once, but it's really fun to play there again. Lima. I am in the works for my USA visa, but I actually got a message today that it looks really good. So hopefully I get to do the interview in the next 3 weeks. And then I'm having my USA debut during Miami Music Week. So that's something I really look forward to.
Can you reveal the venue yet? Where it's going to be?
I'm doing. Depends when this podcast is coming out.
Probably in about 2 weeks, something like that.
I think So Solid Grooves, Space Miami. I
amazing.
play Homegrown, so that's I think Factory Town somewhere, and I play another Factory Town on the main stage for Palsa. Palsa's event with Luciano. It's
well, that is as good as it gets.
As good as it gets, yeah.
Okay, well, look, thank you very much for doing the podcast with me. I've been looking forward to this for ages. Thank you so much for answering all the community questions yesterday in Dojo Pro. We really appreciate your time and your effort.
Yeah.
And just following everything that you do and wishing you all the best for many years to come, bro.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
It's amazing to see, and I'm really, really happy for you.
Thank you so much, man.
All right, brother. Thank you so much.